ultimate of all ages, aka the ancient sovereign of eternity. In this manhwa MC Gu Fei Yang, he died in the Tiandang Mountains. He was then reincarnated 15 years later as Li Junzhao of the Tianshui Nation, once known as a peerless martial emperor, and now reincarnated in a body known throughout the nation as Trash. Our MC embarks on a long journey to regain the power he once had in his previous life, and more than just power, but the prestige, the respect that he had being known as the martial sovereign, the strongest period. So in the genre section of the website that I read this manhwa at, it says action is classified as martial arts. All right, bet, which is facts. But let's not overlook the comedy factor throughout this manga family, not even a little bit. It's actually gold if you asking me. Personally, IMO type situation, that's what makes this manhwa good, like really good. One of my favorites, you feel me? I can't overlook it. With a lot of manhwa, especially the ones where reincarnation is the main plot point, it'll often be being brought back to life in a trash body, or once on top, now at the bottom, so I gotta grind back to the peak. You feel me? Okay, bet. Well, how many manga there are today with that same plot point? I can see how it would seem so unoriginal, a little bit repetitive, I bet. But you would have asked me, it's all about how you execute, family. I mean, and with this story, the author does it so well, so much so that I keep coming back to this manga, not losing interest, not even in the slightest. I mean, there's a lot of stories that, you could say have the same plot points or the same kind of start to it, but at the same time, how they get through those plot points and then turning it into their own and make it a classic read after that, and it happens, man, and this is one of those stories. IMO. Like I said, I dig the plot. It goes from at the start grinding for materials to get back to its original strength, to helping others' talents improve, to helping other people throughout the nation, period. He deals in politics, there's family issues, all type of situations. Really, it's just not, tethered to that, okay, bet, I was reincarnated and I was the strongest, so now I'm just going to be OP and everything, I'm still the strongest. Keep in mind, the comedy is great, and it is sprinkled in every situation that he has to deal with, our MC, making this a refreshing read through and through. I find myself genuinely laughing when I read this manhwa. This manhwa is gold when it comes to the comedy, it's not even a game. The artwork in this manhwa is actually top tier, if you asking me. From the fighting, from the cities, the nations, the aesthetics of the landscapes, the buildings, the colors in this manhwa make everything pop. It really do. For how vast it is that they're trying to portray the world to be, the powers, the cities, the people within the cities, the villagers, the community, man, everything. In all honesty, the scale of this manhwa, what it's trying to portray as it being really, really huge as far as world building goes, is actually great. And the comedy that is laced within all of it is a fun read. I can't even emphasize that more so than I already have, but let's move on. The side characters well drawn out as well. There are some characters with some character development and some without, but in all honesty, all the side characters introduced, and there is a lot, I'm not gonna hold you, throughout this story, but they're all interesting, not to take away from it, not even a little bit, not to mention all of the waifus, like to all my fellas out there, sheesh, haven't seen too many manhwa with as many waifus introduced as this one. Bad ones too though, you feel me, but I digress. If you're looking for an OPMC, this is a manga for you. He is an OP at the start, you understand, but he has to grind to get back to that point, and with his memories of his past life, being the strongest, being at the top like he was, he uses that knowledge to not only catch up and surpass everybody else, but he does it with somewhat ease and arrogance, you feel me, because he knows things that people don't know or have forgotten, so he outshines everyone, and is beautiful. The plot armor in this manga is kind of hardcore, but what manga isn't? You feel me? Let's be real. Like I said, it's all about how you execute. If I had to name the negatives about this manhwa, and they're not even that bad, to be honest. You heard me in the beginning just naming some of the people's names, some of the places, some of the things, or whatever's found throughout the manhwa could be a bit much to pronounce. As with all cultivation manhwas, with some kind of history-laced theme. The power scale and levels, a lot of levels to kind of get used to, kind of brings you back to the days of Dragon Dragon Ball Z type situation when we had to go from base Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, you know, that whole type jazz. But in all honesty, a cultivation manhwa honestly isn't. You know, it is to be expected, to be honest with you, as far as the power scaling thing goes. Our MC in particular, he absolutely humbles everyone that doubts him. Most of the comedy is centered around him humbling everyone. And at times, you know, it'll seem like it's a little over the top, a little arrogant, but it'll be funny as hell at the same time. You know, when you're sure you can do something no one else can because they lack the knowledge, but they're in a higher position, a little bit more status than you, so they ridicule you and they say, you can't possibly know more than me. My position is this, that, and the third, and my status is much higher than yours, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. In the most devastating way, you turn around and humble they ass. That's what you will get in this manhwa. The way our MC goes about that throughout the whole manhwa, and being how funny it is mad satisfying. Yo, the expression you will see on a lot of the side characters' faces or the people he's dealing with are priceless. You know, when people realize that he's just going a little too crazy, a little too hardcore, the way that they do it, the way that they sprinkle in that comedy is busting. It makes this manhwa top tier. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not totally understanding why this isn't like the last few that I've talked about, not in the mainstream as one of the greats. Yo, it's actually really funny. It's top tier. 4.5 stars straight up. This manhwa, last I checked, is 102 chapters deep. I've said all the good that I can say about it. Binge read it for yourself. This is another great hidden gem. I think you will have fun with it. This next manhwa is another good one, family, not gonna lie to you. It's called Copycat Talent, or also known as Your Talent Is Mine. 100 years ago, crack started to show up in the skies, and fierce beasts from other dimensions invaded Earth and threatened the existence of humanity. Only awakened warriors can survive in this world, and in this world, level of talent is everything. Our MC Yi Tian has a weak talent, in effect rendering him as useless. Trash. As fate would have it though, Yi Tian's life would change when he gains the ability to replicate the talents of other people. When he becomes aware that he can copy other people's talents, he then decides to go out and cultivate strong talents to train, all in order to not only be a strong warrior who can fight for humanity and for himself, but one who is capable of protecting his little sister. So, you know, full disclosure, I've been following this manhwa for a while, right? And if I did have anything negative to say about it off rip, let's go ahead and get it out the way, the cons type situation. The only thing IMO is that new chapters take way too long to hit, you feel me? I don't know, maybe something crazy like every 2 weeks, you feel me? Or 2 chapters in a month. I never check because, you know, when I'm catching up on one manhwa, I immediately move to another one or get to looking for something else new to read. But if this manhwa had hit with like a mass release and came out with new chapters faster, this would be top tier, no resistance. This manhwa is 36 chapters deep. The artwork is absolutely wet, straight up. The background artwork is great to look at. The landscapes, the details in the monsters, or the destroy the existence of humanity, the Armageddon scene, so to speak. You know what I mean? The destruction everywhere is beautiful, bro. The artwork is there, straight fire. Not even gonna hold you. The character design, I'd say the level of the author's ability is showcased beautifully. The shade in the colors, the characters' facial expressions, the fights. Oh my God, the fights, family. Yes, the fighting in this manhwa is epic. One of the main reasons that I keep coming back to this manhwa, for real. Yeah, all it takes is for him to touch someone or a monster type situation if he wants to copy their talent. I can see how that would seem a bit OP. And at the same time, in some cases or in some views, you know, that would make the story a little bit less interesting. But there are low-key limits to his power. Not to spoil it too much, but all I'm saying is that his power doesn't take away from how good the story is or how good the story can be. Other plot points like, you know, protecting his sister, the training the copy talents that he gets, or finding them, for that matter, you feel me, fighting the other characters, monsters in the story, makes it a great read. It's not just about him copying talents and just gaining OP. Well, it is low-key, but he's not strong from the start, and I like that. I like the grind. I'm not gonna hold you. This manhwa is one of my favorites. I hope that they do right and show this manga with some love. You hear me? The artist was snapping. The artist is snapping. Let me say that again. You understand? Give us a mass release. Make the chapters a little longer. It's not a bad length already as it is. But I'm just saying, I mean, a little longer wouldn't hurt. And just come out with some chapters a bit faster than what they are at the very least. Then this manga could easily be top tier. This hidden gem is fire. Give it a once over, you feel me? I think you will like it. Keep in mind, it's not that many chapters. It's kind of hard to wait on, but I think you will like it, family. Honestly, I just wanted to get a good 2 in today, you feel me? You know, my fellow anime and manga readers out there, you guys have a good one. Until the next video, I am Spartan IMO. Shoot your boy a like and subscribe if you thought the video was fake decent. Until next time, peace.